I feel like I'm very, very close to the camera today, and that's because I'm getting some light back here. If I get in, it messes with the focus, so we're gonna be real close today. This moment, days like today, are exactly why I needed to make my YouTube upload schedule public, because I need y'all to hold me accountable. I can so easily talk myself out of filming. It's really bad, and I want to make videos, but there are so many times where I have an idea and then within the hour I've already talked myself out of it. So I'm glad that I did it. I'm sticking to it. We're one day on track. And so thank you guys for tuning in. The one idea that I didn't totally destroy is obviously the video I'm filming right now, which is how I've managed to build up my confidence. I would say that so far in my life, a majority of my years, I was not very confident at all. My self-confidence was very, very low. And I'm still not the most confident person, but I definitely am a lot more confident than I was in high school or college or previous years. I think just like anything else that we want to improve, confidence is something that we have to actively work on building up. It isn't something that just happens overnight. At least it wasn't for me. There wasn't really like a moment in time where I decided like, hey, I really want to build my confidence up and I need to figure out what to do. The things that I'm listing are just things I've realized over time have really helped me be a more confident person. So yeah, these are just things that I've done that now I realize have really helped me build my confidence, but that wasn't necessarily the goal when I started doing them. So the first thing that I realized that's helped me become a more confident person is just being more vulnerable. If you've been watching me for a little bit, you know that I'm very, very open about the things that I've struggled with in the past and the things that I struggle with now, and I haven't always been that way. Not only do I do that to help build a real connection with those of you watching and to create a safe space for us to talk about things that we don't normally get to talk about in our everyday lives, I also do that for me. When I started opening up about the things that I was self-conscious about or struggling with my friends and my family and with you guys, it made me realize, one, I wasn't alone. There are a lot of you guys who have gone through similar things. And two, when you start to talk about those things, and I talk about this in my shame video, it just makes those things seem a lot smaller. Sometimes we've already made it up in our minds that if we open up about something or share something that we're struggling with, that people will feel a certain way about us. And I've found that more times than not, it doesn't really change any way that someone views me. If anything, it makes them have a little bit more respect for me and empowers me in the process. Now, opening up about the things that have been painful or are a struggle don't make them any less painful or any less of a struggle, but it sort of takes that burden off your shoulders of like, okay, if people find this out, they are going to think less of me. I would always tell myself, like, if people knew that I went through this or that I had this thing growing up, then they're going to think less of me. But most of the time we make those things up in our head because we're so ashamed. And if you open up about something and someone does treat you differently, well, now you know that's just not someone you want to align yourself with because they trash. My battery died. We just out here struggling, y'all. The second thing that I stopped doing in order to build my confidence is I stopped waiting for other people's approval. I've said it before and I will say it again. No one is going to give you the green light to start creating that app, to start writing that book, to start working on that business plan, especially if there are people benefiting from you not following your dreams. The moment that I realized that, the moment that I just started doing the things that I wanted to do because I wanted to do them, and I stopped waiting for someone else to tell me that I was good enough to start or that I had the approval to start, I became so much more confident in myself. We think that we need stamps of approval from everyone around us to get started on what we want to do, and that mindset can be very crippling. Realizing that your approval is the only approval you need to get started on something is a very empowering feeling. I think there's a really big difference between creating something then seeking constructive criticism and waiting for someone to tell you that you can create something. When you're constantly waiting for someone else to tell you that you can do something, you're basically telling yourself, I'm not good enough until I have someone else's approval. And I know that because I was that person. And honestly, I can still be that person sometimes. I still have a lot of work to do, but this step really helped me realize like I'm good enough as I am. I don't need to wait for anyone to tell me that I can do something. The third thing that I'm trying to stop doing, which is kind of related to the previous one, is you have to stop doing the things that you were only doing for other people's approval. In my hair journey video, I mentioned that I used to straighten my hair all the time or get my hair straightened all the time. And when I look back on it, obviously I didn't want to be riding the bus 2 hours down LA to go get my hair pressed. I wasn't going to the ends of the earth for my hair because I genuinely thought it was going to make me a better person. I was doing it because I wanted the approval of others. My hair is just one example, but there are so many things that I've done because I wanted the approval of others, and it's not a good practice. It doesn't build self-confidence because you're not being yourself. You're being a version of yourself that you think other people will approve of, and you don't even know who you are. It's a sad place to be in, but I realize that there are a lot of people who like me for who I am, and I don't have to wear my hair a certain way or dress a certain way or do certain things for other people's approval. I know that that's a really scary step because you risk losing people that you really care about, but if they really care about you, they will want you to fully embrace yourself. They will want you to own who you are and love the skin that you're in. And it's better that you learn now that those people just liked the fake version of you than spend more time just trying to be this version of yourself that doesn't feel right. The fourth thing that I started doing to build my confidence is I started saying yes to things that I would typically say no to. As cliche as it sounds, okay, you'll never know what you're truly capable of doing if you never do things that you've never done. So for the past couple of years, I've been trying to challenge myself more and really step out of my comfort zone in order to build my confidence up, because I know that I'm capable of a lot more, but I'll never truly realize that if I don't try different things. That might sound super obvious, but truly, once you realize that you can really do anything and you're a bad bee, the world ain't ready for you. The next thing that I started doing that has really helped me build my self-confidence up is realizing that failing does not make me a failure. I think a lot of you watching need to listen up right now. Crank up the volume. Failing at something, or potentially failing on something. Maybe you haven't even failed at anything yet, but you're so worried about failing that you haven't even tried. But if that day ever comes where you do fail, it doesn't make you a failure. Having the courage to step up and try something new makes you a courageous person. Even if you don't succeed, you're still a courageous person. And the moment I realized that, hey, maybe there are gonna be things that I try, like this channel or acting or whatever, that I'm not going to be that great at. Maybe it won't work out at all, but at least I've tried, and that is something to be proud of. We get so worried about looking foolish in front of our friends or peers or people we don't even know. And honestly, if anyone has anything negative to say about you making an effort to try something, that's with them. That's because they aren't acknowledging something within themselves. That has nothing to do with you. If you don't succeed at something, it doesn't make you a failure. It makes you a courageous person, and that's something to really be confident about. And the last thing on my list of things that I have done to help build up my self-confidence is creating a YouTube channel. Creating a YouTube channel is something that I wanted to do for a very long time, but I never thought that I had an interesting perspective or things that people would want to hear. I never thought that I was funny enough. I just didn't want to look foolish in front of other people. I didn't want people at school to see it. Man, if I had the confidence of a high schooler who can post a video on YouTube and then go to high school the next day, wow. There are so many times when I was younger and I wanted to start a channel, but the thought of someone at my school seeing my channel would stop me dead in my tracks every time. I graduated high school in 2012. That was 8 years ago, and I am still afraid of my high school peers seeing my videos. Every time I want to go post one of my videos on my Instagram story, I envision my videos ending up in a group chat and people making fun of me. But you know what? I don't care anymore, and that is a freeing feeling. Creating a YouTube channel has helped me in so many different aspects of my life, and if you're watching this right now and you're hesitant about starting a channel, start it. You're not too old. It's not too late. You'll learn how to edit. It's fine. Do it. I promise you, you will grow so much from doing this. And that is all I've got for you guys today. I know this is a little more up close and personal than you're probably used to, but I hope it wasn't too much. Let me know in the comments below some things that you've done to help build up your confidence. We're all on this journey to love ourselves a little bit more, so I think that that could be a helpful thing for myself and for some of you watching. I'm gonna try my best to stick to this upload schedule because we're getting official over here, okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your uplifting and supportive and loving comments. Thank you for showing up for me. And as always, thank you for being here.